Lesson 4.4, Converting Liquid Measures. The main focus in this unit is for you to consider the units of liters and milliliters, to examine measurement scales for liters and milliliters, and to use a table and diagrams to convert these measurements. But first, let's start with our mental math and fluency. 5 times 40. 5 times 4 is 20, so you should write down 20. And there's 1 0 here, so you add 1 0 onto the end. Your answer is 200. 2 times 60. 2 times 6 is 12. Add 1 0 on the end. Your answer is 120. And our final problem, 9 times 50. 9 times 5 is 45. I add 1 0 on that. My answer is 450. Please continue to study your multiplication facts every night. We're going to be looking at different measures in the metric system. When we were looking at measuring length, we would use a meter or a centimeter or sometimes even a millimeter to measure something. When we want to measure liquids, we use liters or milliliters. U.S. customary system, what you're probably more used to, would look like this for measuring liquids. You will have 1 pint equals 16 ounces, which also equals 2 cups. So if I only wanted 1 cup of liquid, I would go to this line. 1 cup of liquid equals 8 ounces, which equals 1 cup. And so forth down to our fractions. When looking at a ruler, U.S. customary system is looking at feet and inches and yards. The inches and the 1 foot mark would be on this side of your ruler. You should pull out your ruler and look at it. Pause the recording if you need to. Look at the other side. The other side is set up according to the metric system. There you should see the word centimeters. This side of your ruler is the metric side. This measures centimeters and millimeters when measuring length or width. The conversion chart that you're looking at here is showing you how to convert liters to milliliters. So if we had 1 liter, that would be 1,000 milliliters. And again, 2 liters, 2,000 milliliters. 3 liters, 3,000 milliliters. Hopefully you're seeing the pattern now that all you need to do is multiply the liter number that they give you by 1,000 to get how many milliliters it is. That is what you do when you are converting liters to milliliters or milliliters to liters. So what letter would represent liters? Well, hopefully you're thinking liters starts with an L, so it'd be the letter L. What letters do you think would represent milliliters? And again, milliliters starts with an M and has an L, so it would be ML. How can we use the measurement scale to find out how many milliliters are in 2 liters? Well, we look down the column side till we find the 2 number that says 2 liters. And here it is. Then we'd look over to the milliliter side and we see it's 2,000. Or you could just simply say, oh, I remember Mrs. Hargraffen saying liters, you take that number, multiply by 1,000, and you would have came up with 2,000 instead of having to look at this chart. So again, what I want you to do is turn to page 114 in your math journal. So please pause the recording now and get out your math journal. On this page, it is asking you to complete the table. This is an assessment check-in, so all I'm going to do is show you that the first one is done. So if you look, liters was 1, milliliters was 1,000. You could use this table to the left to look up your answer if you need to for conversion, or you can just simply multiply the liters number by 1,000 to get your milliliters answer. Pause the recording now and do this page, bring it up to me, and let me check it for you because this is an assessment check. Thank you. That was just showing you a few of the answers for that problem. Now we're going to go on. I want you to think about and read along this number story. It says, the 4th grade is in charge of ordering milk for the school lunchroom next week. Different grades are having a picnic on different days next week, so we need to order a different amount each day. On Monday, we need 5 liters. So right away, you see over here, I put Monday equals 5. On Tuesday and Wednesday, we need 2 liters each day. Well, if I need 2 on Tuesday and 2 on Wednesday, that's a total of 4. So I wrote T for Tuesday / W for Wednesday is 4. On Thursday, we need 3 liters. So I made Thursday and I put a 3. And on Friday, we need 2 liters. So I put Friday 2. How many milliliters is that in all? Well, I added up, and when I add, I always start with my largest number first. 5 plus 4 is 9. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So I have 14 liters. But I'm not done because this says milliliters. I remember before I said that if it was liters and I was changing it to milliliters, I would multiply by 1,000. So my answer is 14,000. How can we use the diagram or measurement scale to determine the number of millimeters needed? Well, remember, you have that diagram or measurement tool. You should have went down to the 14 liters, looked across from it, and saw that your answer was going to be 14,000. So, solve the problem and complete the measurement scale and convert. It says the hotel's kitchen uses about 2 liters of soap to wash dishes every day. Soap is sold in 4-liter jugs. About how many milliliters of soap are left over after 1 day? So on my number line here, I noticed that on the top, it's increasing by 1. I went from 0 to 1 to 2 to 3 to 4. Well, I know 1 liter equals 1,000 milliliters. So my number line here is going to increase by 1,000. 1 times 1,000 is 1,000 ml. 2 times 1,000 is 2,000. 3 times 1,000 is 3,000. And 4 times 1,000 is 4,000. It said that I had 4-liter jugs. So I wrote the number 4 down here. And I said I use about 2 liters of soap each day. So I knew I was going to have to subtract 2 in order to get how much would be left over after 1 day. And it was 2 liters. But it asked again for milliliters. So I looked on my conversion chart that I created, and I realized that my answer is going to be 2,000 milliliters is what will be left at the end of each day. Remember on multiple step problems to go back and check and make sure that you have the right answer. Now I want you to get out Math Journal page 115. We just completed number 1. I want you to try to do 2, 3, 4, and 5 on your own. I will read them to you in case you need to pause the recording and then go back and do them. Number 2 says, a washing machine uses about 150 liters of water per load. If the Lopez family washes 5 loads of laundry per week, about how many milliliters of water do they use per week? Pause the recording now. Remember how we did this with the number line up here and the conversion chart and created our own. Try to do this one on your own for this one. Pause the recording now. Number 3. Raina's fish tank holds 10 liters of water. Josie's fish tank holds 4 times that much water. About how many milliliters of water does Joel's tank hold? Well, don't forget, first we have liters, but they're asking for milliliters. Pause the recording now. If you don't remember what I said, remember you can always rewind this recording in order for you to read it with me and then figure out your answer. Number 4. A scientist measured 110 milliliters each of solution A and solution B, and 190 milliliters each of solution C and solution D. And then she mixed them together. How many liters of solution does the scientist have? So this time, you're doing just the opposite of what you did before. They're going to give you the milliliters, and they want you to figure out the liters. Pause the recording now, finish this page. When you're done, check it in the answer key, and then, if you didn't understand something, bring it up to me, and I will help you. Those are the solutions to some of the problems you had earlier. So what strategies did you use to convert from liters to milliliters? Did you multiply by 1,000? Did you look at the chart to make sure that you had it correct? So what you're seeing here is called polygon capture. That is going to be a game that we will be playing together in the future. Number 1, Math Journal, page 116. A professional basketball court measures 94 feet by 50 feet. A high school basketball court is usually 84 feet by 50 feet. Write a formula for the perimeter of a rectangle and use it to find the perimeter of each court. Notice as we continue to move on learning new skills, we constantly and consistently are going back to review the skills that we've already learned. So I'm going to help you out with this one. What we're going to do is we're going to write the formula for perimeter, which is 2 times the length plus the width. Or I could do length plus length, those are L's, plus width plus width. Both ways are going to get you perimeter. So for the professional court, I would go up here, find professional court. I have 94 feet by 50 feet. So I would take 94 plus 50 if I'm using this first method. And I would come up with 144. Then if I times that by 2, I would come up with 288 feet. If I was doing the high school court, notice how I'm going back and putting a box around the numbers to make sure I'm using the right numbers. I would take 84 plus 84 plus 50 plus 50, which I already know 50 plus 50 is 100. And I would come up with 268. That is my answer here. Finish Math Journal, page 116. Then go up to the answer key book and check your answers. And when you're finished, you are going to get Math Masters, page 153, and do that for the final activity for lesson 4.4. I'm going to go ahead and read you a couple other problems on this page in case you need some assistance. This one says 3 friends are making a 1 meter line with centimeter cubes. Anna has 36 cubes. Hua has 37. And Al has 46. How many extra cubes do they have? Well, you're going to have to add up the cubes and figure out how many they have left over. This is the end of 4, 4. Thank you.